Hi everyone, this is an unboxing and review for the Casemate Tough for the Samsung Galaxy Note, or the GT-N7000. I believe from their website it also fits the Note LTE. Now, as Galaxy Note owners will know, this is not a particularly cheap phone, needs the best possible protection. Now, although the phone itself has been out since November, this Casemate Tough has literally only just come out in the last couple of days, bearing in mind that this video is taken in March. So I'm pretty excited to get it. And again, as something that a lot of Samsung Galaxy Note owners will know, it is quite slippery in your hand, so you just want to make sure you get the best possible protection for it. So, looking at the box, fairly familiar Casemate branding, says specifically here compatible with Samsung Galaxy Note. On the reverse we have description for dual layer protection, which I'll discuss in a moment, and heavy duty protection, which is exactly what I want. So let's open it up. So literally all you get is the case. There's no frills with this piece of packaging. There's no screen protector as some of them used to do, but you do obviously get the case itself. And the case is, certainly on the Tough models from Casemate, is made up of two shells, or two layers, sorry. You get a silicon inner shell, which is designed to absorb the impact, or any impacts that you get on the phone, whereas the outer shell here is made out of polycarbonate, which is the same type of material, or certainly the same type of plastic that they use for bulletproof glass. So you can see the branding on the outside there. Now, fitting it, just have a quick look here. The easiest way of doing it really is by fitting the silicone glove on first, which is a pretty easy affair. You just literally snap the corners over the edges like this. Just make sure that it's nice and snug, and that's the inner silicone done. The polycarbonate shell is a little bit different, and it's a little bit tricky because, as you can see, it's like a C shape, and you need to try and be able to clip this soft inner glove into this hard plastic shell. Now, the easiest way I found of doing it is you have a volume control up here on the top left hand side of the phone, which will fit into a recess in the outside polycarbonate case, and it's easiest to do it on the left first. So if you align the tab on the silicone case onto the polycarbonate shell on the outside, flip it over, then use a thumbnail or something just to hook it over the on-off button on the outside, and the rest will just slot in very nicely. Now, I did have a bit of a sneak preview this morning of this phone. One of the things that I did notice, and it's done it again now, is that the silicon shell, if you look quite carefully at the aperture here for the loudspeaker, you'll notice that the soft silicon inside glove isn't quite aligned with the polycarbonate outing. But what I found is, if you can just literally grab it very slightly, just tease it into place, and it will just snap in there very neatly. So that's perfectly aligned. Just check the top. Just pull that out slightly. That's nice and neat. The aperture on the camera is absolutely perfect. So there you have it. Certainly installed. So just looking at it in a bit more detail, the front, you have probably about a 2 or a 2.5 millimeter lip all the way around the outside, which protects the face of the phone itself from any damage if it's on a surface. So you get that nice padded protection on the face. Certainly on the face you've got your front facing camera and proximity sensor on the front, which is not obstructed. Certainly obviously down at the bottom you've got no obstruction of the bottom controls. Looking at the top, we have an aperture or a cutout in here for the headphone socket, which is an absolutely perfect size really. This is the headphone jack that came with the original headphones. Just slots in there, no problem at all. It'll probably take a slightly larger jack. Has a hole here for what I believe is the noise reduction microphone. Looking at the sides, we'll look at the base first. Base here we have the aperture for the USB connector, which again works absolutely perfectly, and again I'll show you an example. So if we just literally slot that in there, you can see that there's plenty of aperture there to fit this USB one and probably a standard USB cable as well. You have your main microphone down at the bottom here, nice aperture. Certainly on the back you've got the loudspeaker aperture, which is nice and clear. One thing I would say is, again I've practiced a little bit with this, and this is the stylus itself. Now because it's quite a deep case, it is actually tricky, even with fingernails, to be able to physically get your finger into this aperture. As you can see, it's quite narrow. But after a bit of practice you can just flip it out without too much difficulty, so there's no real major problems there. Looking at the top on the back, you've got your camera obviously, so looking at it at an angle, you've got the face of the camera glass, which is protected and is well back from the face here. Plenty of aperture for the flash. Then finally, looking at the sides, you have one of the things that I particularly like about the tough case is that the buttons themselves are protected by the silicon shell. So on the side here you've got your on-off button, and they are very responsive. Same with the volume buttons on the left hand side, very responsive buttons, no problems, and you get a nice solid sort of clicky feel as you're actually feeling the buttons underneath, which I particularly like. And that's pretty much it. That is the Casemate Tough for the Samsung Galaxy Note. Thank you very much for watching.